Hi everyone, my name is Alex Jensch, and I'm a postdoc at Brookhaven National Laboratory studying high energy nuclear and particle physics. And today I want to talk to you about 5 things that I think are really important to try and learn while you're in graduate school that are probably not on the actual curriculum. The first thing I think is really important to learn is really good communication skills. This might seem fairly obvious, but as a researcher, you're going to be doing a lot of different kinds of communication with your peers, whether it be giving talks or sending emails that are surprisingly hard to sometimes type up professionally to somebody, or even just interacting with your colleagues or folks from different institutions that you might be getting to know through conferences or through Zoom during COVID, whatever it might be. And part of the thing that can be challenging is being comfortable talking to people without feeling maybe intimidated or worried that they might know more than you or whatever it might be. And so getting lots of practice doing this is very important, and learning to not worry so much about these things is also very important. So my advice is to make sure you take opportunities to give talks, even at small conferences, and really get good feedback from people who are willing to actually be honest with you and help you to grow your skills in that area. The second thing that I think is really important to learn while you're in graduate school is some programming skills. So not every research area for a graduate program requires, a direct programming language like C++ or Python. But no matter what you're doing, having a little bit of experience doing programming will be important. Learning some web development, some HTML, something that you can use to better put your results in a place where they're easier to access to other colleagues, for example, could be helpful. Or if you're trying to solve a complex problem, maybe something that requires a little bit of numerical calculation, but something that is not necessarily as high as rocket science, so to speak. Having a little bit of skills in programming will be very helpful for that. You can solve a problem much more easily on your own. The third thing that I think is really important is learning a little bit of statistics. When I say a little bit, I mean literally grabbing a statistics textbook or even like a statistics for dummies book or something like that. Something where you can get used to the jargon that's used to how to do some of the basic calculations in statistics to understand what some of the quantities mean. A good example is that even in areas like medicine, um, statistics is actually kind of the language that's spoken to describe the efficacy of different things that are used to treat diseases or for vaccines. It's very relevant now, obviously, when understanding how effective a vaccine might be. This is true in many fields in science, and so you shouldn't really take for granted how important it is to understand the language of statistics, at least to some degree. The fourth thing that I think is super, super important is really making sure that you learn how to manage your time. While you're at the universities, most of the time, universities will have some informal courses on different kind of professional development things. They also might have something like this for the communication skills I talked about earlier. But learning how to manage your time is really important. This can be as simple as just starting small and having a calendar that you keep up to date, for example. For a lot of people, I think it can be really daunting to think about maintaining your schedule in a more formal way. But there's so many apps available now to make this really easy, and even just a simple calendar app through whatever you're using for your email is probably more than sufficient to cover this. We're talking about just keeping all your main events in your calendar on a regular basis. It'll really help you to reduce your stress, not be worrying about if you're missing a deadline for something, and really make it easy to plan your week if you kind of know what's coming up in the next few days or even by the end of the week. So you really can plan your different events accordingly, so you don't feel like you're getting behind as the week goes on. The last thing that I think is truly probably the most important thing to me is maintaining a hobby. It's really, really, really easy to get wrapped up in our work and spend all of our time doing just that. But it's super important that you take some time for self care, and part of that self care is doing something that you just enjoy doing for fun. For me, you can see behind me that I like to play guitar. That's really helpful for me in maintaining my sanity as I continue on in my career. But it can really be anything that you enjoy doing, playing a video game, reading a book, building something, whatever it might be. Make that somewhat of a priority in your life. Put it in your calendar to take time out of your day to do that hobby. I think these things are really important. There's probably a lot of other things that I didn't mention in this that you can comment on below. I really appreciate seeing people's feedback on things that they thought were important that they learned in grad school outside of the curriculum.
Thanks a lot for watching. Please support what we're doing. We have a lot of passionate scientists that are on board to share their knowledge and insights and their stories of how they got to where they are and how to succeed in this field and why it's so important, why science is so important. You can help us tremendously for free by sharing these videos, subscribing, and getting the word out. You can also help us not for free by chipping in $1 or $2 on our Patreon account. So please support us. We'll continue to produce these videos. We do this for free. We do this because we care. So we're happy that you're watching. Thank you.